Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shadowsphere.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Shadowsphere. I am Shadow. Tonight I am joined by the man I know as Mike, but you know him as Melting Off with Mike. He is a man across the platforms doing hard work. How are you doing, my guy?
What a beautiful intro, man. I'm doing great. I'm even better to be joined up back with you. I feel like it's been eons, centuries since the last time Shadow and Mike, got to talk just in general. So it's great to be back here, man. I love what you've been doing, man. Keep it up and thanks for having me.
Hey, man, I appreciate the kind words. And yeah, it's been a minute. And the last time that we were on the screen together, I was on your stuff doing your thing. And I think that was almost like last SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think it was quite some time. I think it was a nightcap. We had ourselves a little bit of a late night chat after a premium live event. It might have been SummerSlam, so it might have been close to about a year or so ago. But yeah, man, I'm just grateful that we're all still here. We're still talking some wrestling. We're enjoying the wrestling for the most part. For the most part, and we're just paving our own paths, man. But it's great, man, and I'm grateful to be here with you.
You're branched out. Like, you started off Nothing Up with Mike. You're a part of the Boom podcast, and you're now with the the name is slipping my mind, and I apologize. The
Four Sides of the Ring.
That's what I thought it was that, and I didn't want to sound like an idiot, so thank you. So like how we got here, man? You started as independent, now you're with a group, but you're also still independent. Like, what's going on with that?
I listen, man. You just make amazing connections, right? You and I connected, all those years ago, almost, now like 2 years, and I connected with these guys as well around that same time and Boom Broadcasting, and Mike over there at Boom Broadcasting. We all, just decided like, hey, let's, come together and let's just talk about sports and wrestling and entertainment and everything. And, I've been getting real busy, real life is, she throws you around, been a couple wild months for me, a year almost. So, just kind of Four Sides of the Ring reached out to me. We were like, hey, it'll kind of work better with your schedule. You're kind of on the go a lot. And I agreed to that. So I was grateful for them. And they were kind of going through a little bit of a transition as well, where the Zombie King, Ant, he's a wrestler as well. And he was kind of focusing more on the independent wrestling scene and getting back out after an ACL injury had taken him out for about a year. So, they needed a guy and they called up Mouthing Off with Mike. I don't know why. Everybody calls me up and wants me to talk wrestling with them, but I'm grateful that they do. And now I'm also a contributor with Main Event Wrestling, another great group of guys who are making wrestling content, and haven't really made any content for them just yet. But once I figure out the new schedule, I'm sure I'll be posting some shorts and other things like that. And yeah, it's just about connections, man. I'm not a guy who's really in this game for anything. If I can just hang out, make some new connections, make some new friends, and just talk about sports and wrestling and things we love, man, that's what I'm in for. I'm just here to yap, man. The name's Mouthing Off with Mike, Shadow. You know me. I yap. I like talking. I like mouthing off with people.
In the words of Enzo Amore, you got the gift of gab.
I guess so. Funny enough, I guess he's coming back in a couple of weeks or something. So I'm excited to see what that looks like, and I'm excited to just be here, man. Like I said, it's something that we all do. It's an outlet for us all. Like, we're all pretty creative minded, and it's just trying to express ourselves any way we can right now. A lot of world's crazy. It's nice to come talk with like-minded people, and hey, if we agree on things, we disagree on things. It's just good to have that insight into people.
And that's the thing. In this content creator, we both started on the same side of the fence, if you will. But I've since left the mainstream side of things, and I've gone towards the indies. You're still killing it with the mainstream stuff. I mean, man, I see what you're posting. I see your opinions. I don't always agree, but see, that's the beautiful thing. I don't need to comment when I don't agree. I don't need to argue with you.
Listen, if there's one person I'll allow to start an argument with me, it's you, because it usually ends up in something positive at the end.
Right. But like, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know many people that have the thick skin to do the mainstream stuff like you're doing. I was doing it, but I got burnt out from it because, and I've said this in previous interviews, I've done this in this season. Once Bray passed away, I lost all ambition to watch the main roster. Like, I tried and I tried. And then it was just like, I can't do this. And then the storytelling reminded me a lot of what happened in the early 2000s, just with a remix twist to it. And I'm like, I've seen this before.
I get it, man. And I'm the same way, you know, and it's tough right now because you want to watch the mainstream stuff and like the, you know, the parasocial people and the people that, you know, want to, you know, be rude and nasty. Like, yeah, I mean, you got to have thick skin. You're right about that. But at the end of the day, like, it's just people just like us, right? They want to get their piece out, you know, and sometimes the way it comes out is a nasty comment on an Instagram reel or a TikTok or a tweet or something. And, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think they have the courage to put themselves on the camera like we do. And I think that's kind of where it comes from too. So for that side of it, but from the wrestling side of things, I love what you're doing, man. I was telling you off camera, and I'll put you over right here on your show, and not because I'm on your show. It's so great that you're highlighting the indies and the deathmatch scene, and you know this category of wrestling that maybe a lot of people know about or you know have seen and maybe don't understand it fully. So you're shining light on that. So I think that's incredible. Everybody and their mother, and literally their mother is talking about WWE, you know, and that's why I think, you know, for us and Four Sides, we try to show a lot of love for AEW. Obviously, we got to talk about WWE because that's the, you know how it goes. That's the top dog. That's the, you know,
that's the mecca, right?
Yeah, you have to talk about, you know, that's like if you're a sports broadcaster and you don't talk about the Dodgers 6 times a day. You know, we watch ESPN.
Maple Leafs in hockey, like
exactly. So you got to talk about it. But I really think, you know, not just the indie side, but I think AEW, what they got going on right now is real special again. And I'm glad that as a brand and as a platform with Four Sides and myself that, you know, we can watch WWE, AEW, TNA, Japan, the indies, you know, GCW, and talk about it and just shine light on it, or maybe not shine light on it, but just get to discuss it and maybe put some perspective on things that other people may see differently. So it's a cool part about it.
I loved AEW in 2019, 2020 because it was still what it was meant to do. 21 seen a shift, and I'd become too much like WWE, and that turned me off of the product completely. I still see things here and there, like I've been to Forbidden Door. I've been, you know, I still watch it here and there. Like I'm not an idiot. I do pay attention. I just don't talk about it, or I don't discuss things with anybody. Then WWE, like I said, once Bray passed, it was a hard time for me. Like I still went to Money in the Bank. I still went to Chamber. Like, but I wasn't going to these events as a fan at that point. I was going to these events very jaded, very, oh, this is going to happen. I couldn't enjoy, like I enjoyed myself because of the company I was with. I didn't enjoy myself because of the product.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew I needed to take a step back. And then for all of 25, and you know this, because me and you have had conversations all of last year and a lot of this year, I disappeared.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't doing any content. Like I just proverbially hung them up, right? And then I slowly started coming back around. I met some other friends outside of the wrestling world that really pushed because they knew what I did, they knew what I loved, and they pushed me to start coming back into doing this. And then we're 6 months into this month, or excuse me, 4 months into this month. I go down to an indie show. Something clicked. I have 14 episodes lined up within a week. June was a bombshell. Shadowsphere took off. We're now 20 episodes deep with 5 or more coming. Like it's crazy. And like even lining up with you, like by no means, people, he's not a wrestler. He's a content creator like me. But this is one of the men that I consider a colleague in this business, and he's doing a hell of a.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. And I appreciate that credit, and I got to give credit to my Four Sides brothers, because I was in a similar situation, and this is to you, and this is to the people. I haven't really talked about this. So this is the appropriate place to talk about it. Was, before I kind of, joined up with Four Sides and became another side of the ring. I was thinking about hanging it up, man. I had a lot on my plate. We're a lot of us, we're not doing this for financial gain. Some are, some, if it comes, it's a bonus, right? But I was just doing it for fun, and I just got super busy. Life was fucking crazy. And thankfully they reached out to me right around the time, and I was like, guys, it's great timing, because I actually was thinking about taking a hiatus, and they were like, no, like, so I credit them really for keeping mouthing off with Mike in the game. And without them, I don't think I'm, in this position that I'm in with you and just in general. So I credit those guys. That's a great, group of guys, man. I consider them brothers. Like I consider you a brother, in this content creation
Likewise.
game. And so I got to give them the credit. I don't do it alone. But I do appreciate, you seeing it. I try to listen, man. It's tough. Everybody's so. It's the best way I can word it without causing an uprising in your YouTube comments. It's a lot of superficialness. It's a lot of superficialness. It's a lot of selfishness. I've noticed when it comes to the content creation as a whole. It's a very weird gambit. If you're gonna do it, dive head first, jump in. The waters are shark infested. They're shallow. They're deep. You're gonna experience things. You're gonna really, if you love to talk, if you're opinionated, if you're smart, if you just want to connect, like, do it. But you got to be on the flip side of that, because if you half-ass it, then you're not really doing it for nothing. You're doing it for nothing.
To your point, because you're too nice. What I'm trying to say is a lot of people are very theatrical and fake about what they do. And I could name a couple names, but I'm not going to, because that's not what we do here.
Exactly.
But also, for the creators coming up, I don't gatekeep. You ask me advice, I'm going to tell you everything I know. Right? But what I will say is establish yourself before you join forces with anyone. Because if that somebody else, you still have establishment on your own to still do your thing.
100%. And that's, and that's what I'm trying to figure out myself. I'm trying to figure out what I want the mouthing off with Mike platform to be. If I'm talking wrestling with Four Sides of the Ring, I don't necessarily have to talk wrestling on mouthing off with Mike. But I'm not just another, I need to have substance to what I want to discuss. Right. So we're still figuring that out. And that's a good thing about it is that there's no wrong answer. And for the new people that want to, create content or get in the wrestling, game, the wrestling content game, if you're going to go that far, just like I did for all these years, just have fun with it and just don't take it too seriously.
And one of the biggest mistakes I made, I don't know if you've done it. I held people to a higher standard than I should have.
Yeah.
And it fired on me in some degrees. And in some degrees, I've been left behind. And I don't mean that in poor me. It's just what happened. Because there's a lot of content creators out there that started around the same time I did 5 years ago. And they're up here. And I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'm not at the bottom, but I'm not where they are. And we both started doing the same thing. They look prettier than I do, I guess. I don't
know. And that's a huge thing. And that's a great point is, there's going to be people that come after you. There's going to be people that came before you. And, sometimes things just click for them. And I think the best thing I would say is don't compare yourself to these other creators, because the minute you start to look at he or she or they or them, and you start saying, well, I should be doing more of what she's doing, and I should be doing more of what he's doing, what they do, and what they're doing, then you just completely have taken yourself out of the game. You're not you anymore. You're now the culmination and the combination of all of these people that you've compared yourself to, and you just become another clone. And I think that's the number one thing I would say. And I think that's why, Shadow here, he's doing great things, because he's found what he's meant to do.
Yeah, and like I've seen, and I appreciate the kind words, but I'm not going to skip over that. But like, that's also part of why I was gone for a year, because I started looking at why me, and it became really fucked in my head. And I was like, why are they getting these opportunities? I'm doing the same shit.
And everybody feels it.
It took me a little while to figure that out. And then, yes, Off the Top is a thing. That's the company me and Scal started. When I came up with the idea of Shadowsphere, it's not a new concept to me. I've been saying it since, I don't know, 2009, 10. And it was something I used to always say when I was playing Halo, because I'd kill people and I'd be like, welcome to the Shadowsphere, bitch. And I don't know what struck in my head, but like I think I was playing Halo with my kid, and like Shadowsphere came back into my head, and I just born, and now I adopted it to this.
That's awesome. I just want you to know, next time I'm playing online Call of Duty or something, and I kill someone, welcome to the Shadowsphere, bitch. That's gonna be the new one. I just want you to know.
But like, I've said it since the beginning, and I say it now. Without Scals, there's no Shadow. Without, and I posted tonight on Instagram about this. I don't know when this will drop yet, but if you guys go on my Instagram, you'll see this post I made. There was a guy by the name of Stephen O'Brien, aka Vibes. He's the one that brought me and Scals together as friends. And if it wasn't for him and his vision of a wrestling podcast, none of this would have been a thing. Like, it's a weird, because for the longest time, Scouts and I knew of each other. We ran in the same circles in online gaming. I would troll the shit out of that man. I would make that man's life a living hell. Fast forward almost a decade later, and he is someone I consider family. Like, it's such a weird universe. I had this phone call with him. Me and my partner were talking on a drive home from one of our kids' baseball games, and she's like, "Nah, you're an asshole to him." I was like, "All right, hold on. Let me call him." And I called him, and I go, "Would you prefer 2015 Shadow or 2026 Shadow?" And he goes, "Fuck 2015 Shadow. He was a dick."
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh man, I love that. Yeah, this is a crazy thing, right? This whole thing that we're in, and right, it's like we didn't know each other. We had no idea who we were. All of a sudden, we're both just making wrestling content, coming up in Twitter mutuals and connecting, and then like now we're friends, and we talk pretty on the regular here and there, obviously when we have the time, and just going from two random people in the world. Yeah, you sent me a raccoon. I think that was really where it really started, was the Money in the Bank raccoon. Is kind of what made us a little bit closer.
After the raccoon.
That was so funny, dude. So if, to the people that don't know, Shadows had Money in the Bank. All right, when it was in Canada.
2024. In Toronto,
2024.
Retirement.
Announced the retirement, and then you're there in Chamber a year later when he kicks Cody in the balls at Chamber.
I'll let you finish something to that.
So I'm on Twitter, and I'm scrolling, and I think Shadow posted a video of like the merch at Money in the Bank, and Mrs. MOWM was sitting on the couch next to me because we're getting ready to watch the show. And she looks over the corner of her eyes, and I go, "Hey, look at the merch." And she's like, "Oh, what's the merch? Da, da, da. Is that a raccoon?" pauses the video, zooms in on this video from like, I don't know, like what, 5-8 people deep on the merch stand, zooming in on this fucking little ass raccoon stuffed plushie. She's like, I need it. And I'm like, all right, let's see what I can do. I messaged him like, hey, any chance you can give me that raccoon? This guy, what? I was like, yeah, can you get me the money in the bank raccoon? I don't care how much it costs. Can you just get it for me?
That's the one thing you wanted. That's what caught me off guard. I was like, why?
Out of nowhere. Out of fucking nowhere. Hey, buddy, can you give me this raccoon? So that was the start. And then we have the Brotherhood of the Traveling Raccoon. Now resides here. Unfortunately, he's under the Knicks championship hat. I'm sorry, but I had to display that. But he's rocking it. He's rocking it.
The Nick Hausens.
The Nick Hausens.
But the story behind, give me one sec. I just got to do something here. Show people your collection in the back there. I'll be 1 second.
Oh my God. The collection in the back. Yeah, the utter chaos. So I'm a big mini title guy. So I got a couple mini titles from WrestleMania, this past year's WrestleMania. We could talk about how we went to 5 WrestleManias in a row for no good reason, except I just wanted to go. But I'm a big Funko guy.
Shadow, by the way. Just kidding.
What?
I said with no merch to Shadow, by the way.
I know. I listen. I feel awful. All right. I feel awful.
I don't. I haven't bought WWE stuff in so long, too.
Listen, I gotta tell you, at them WrestleManias, man, I'll be honest. It was so weird because we would go to these WrestleManias and we'd be like, "Damn, this was so electric." You get that post wrestling mania, WrestleMania high, and you're like, "Oh, that was great," and you start watching it, and then after like a month or two, you're like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Like, it's just such a weird thing with WWE. It's like, I love it. I'll always love it. The day I have, little mouthing off with Mike's is, I can't wait to show him all the classics. But, tough.
To that point,
tough.
I got something else for that too. You had mentioned, I was at Chamber when the biggest heel turn other than Hulk Hogan's happened. But I was also there for the biggest heel turn that went absolutely nowhere.
Which was?
The John Cena heel turn. It went nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, dude, that was because I figured WWE. See, I give credit. I give them too much credit because in all my years of watching, I always considered WWE had like the next like 2 years of creative fleshed out, right? Like, that's what it felt like when we were watching it. I thought, like, maybe I was just young and
then, but like, it's definitely not now.
It definitely doesn't feel like that now. It's like, it feels like they barely even have the week written out. And then the next week, it's like completely just, there's been so many like, we can get into it, but the John Cena
I got nothing
retirement,
but time.
I mean, same here. But the John Cena retirement thing, just the thing that really hurts me the most about it is that Cena told them, hey, you can have me for 370 something days or whatever it was, right? You remember seeing that? I don't know whose podcast it was on, one of these podcasts with Cody or this person or that wrestler.
No, it was on a podcast.
Yeah. And he had said, like, I told WWE, I gave him a list of dates, and it was over an astronomical number of dates for a guy who's 47 years old.
Yeah.
And then it was only 30 dates total or whatever it was.
Yeah, they definitely dropped the ball.
So the fact that we could have had so many different, and it didn't have to feel like rushed, like we could have had different like chapters of the retirement tour. Like, they could have split it into 3 chapters where it was like the past, the present, and the future. And you could have legitimately had, let's say if it was for like 250 days, you could have dedicated a certain amount of days on the past and have Cena go up against the Randy Ortons, the CM Punks, the Sheamuses, the set, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm trying to say here. And it just turned into a complete, I don't know, best way to say it, AI slop fest, even though it wasn't AI, or it probably was AI, who knows? But it just felt like a slop fest towards the middle section. It was when we got AJ Styles, when it was like, yeah, this is good. And then we went to Lesnar, and I was like, oh, well.
Well, at the time of this interview, we're 4 days away from hopefully seeing. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're hopefully gonna see how the creative went down with this, because Unreal season 3 drops in 4 days from this interview. It's gonna drop after that, but like, I felt like it was like my partner, huge Cena fan. Even she was let down by that. She's like, "What a way to end it."
I think collectively, we all were like, we could have all booked this better. Without having any wrestling booking experience, I think you could survey most of us and you'd have better storylines than 80% of us would have better storylines than what they decided to do there.
I, for one, probably would have bought in Batista, even if it was just a promo segment. Didn't have to have him wrestle. You could have brought him in for a promo segment saying, "Look, I'm too good. I'm Hollywood now. I don't need to wrestle you. I made it bigger than you, obviously."
Yeah.
You know, you could have bought JBL in one of his first rivalries to do a promo with, or a backstage segment saying, "Hey, kid, you really came a long way. You sure showed me." Like, you could have had interactions with The Undertaker.
There was so much meat left on the bone that just is.
We arguably should have had at least a week storyline with Stephanie McMahon in him.
Yeah. Besides that, they did they did the little interaction, but it wasn't. The one that hurts me the most here was the fact that Edge was in AEW. Like, that hurt me, because I was like, man, Edge, like, I know you needed to leave and everything, but like that was my peak, that was my peak.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir, man. Like, Edge is one of my guys, hometown boy, like,
I know.
It's difficult. In theory, was it perfectly booked? Not at all. And I say this with every ounce of, and we'll talk about this more too, but fuck, we could have used Vince McMahon for that. He would have a penny possible out of Cena.
Yeah, I mean, if we were in an alternate timeline, and the things that came out about him didn't come out, or they didn't happen, that would be my pick. They didn't happen. I think this company looks way different, but I also think you're right. Like, I think the Cena retirement tour would have been a way different vibe than what we got. Then again, who's to say he's not maybe shadow booking? Maybe he didn't shadow book a couple things there. We don't know, right? We'll never know. The Unreal thing. Do you like Unreal? I want to go back to that, because I'm mixed on it. I feel like they don't tell us.
As someone who has now moved away from the mainstream product, I love it, because it makes them look like idiots. And I'm here for it. This is why I left doing it. Because you're seeing what people have been saying all along, but now you're watching it unfold. Even though they're showing you what they want to show you, they're still showing you they're fucking idiots. Like, why do we have Michael Hayes anywhere in charge of any booking nowadays?
I have no idea.
Why do we have this being a big ass bitch with Bruce Pritchard? Like,
they're so
and you're treating him like a punk kid. Oh man, you like it?
I am mixed on it. I think they've created a weird. How do I describe this without sounding like I just took a handful of? It's like they created their own kayfabe outside of kayfabe. Does that make sense?
Well, kayfabe is dead for one.
Kayfabe is dead, right? But it
At
feels
least
like
at
they've
that level.
like it feels like we understand that we all know it that WWE is a sports entertainment, right? We know that they don't like the wrestling word. It's a bad word. They use it here and there to keep us, under
Happy.
under under yeah, exactly. But they've created a almost like weird layering here. Where it's like I know the best my channel from Four Sides of the Ring has said this perfectly. WWE is no longer a show, a wrestling show, or a sports entertainment show. It's a show about sports entertainment, a show about wrestling. And when you look at it from that lens, it kind of like the WWE Unreal product then makes me feel like they are pre-notioning or like not maybe preconditioning, but showing us, hey, look, here's how it goes backstage. And then we all are like, oh, that's how it's going backstage. Meanwhile, that's all bullshit. And they've created their own kayfabe of the Unreal. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You know what I'm getting at, right?
And we both don't think it's ironic that, Road Dogg was fired unceremoniously, like not long after season 2 drops.
Exactly. It's weird. It's weird. I know. I like they're like, oh, we got Paul Heyman on this first season, and Paul Heyman's like, I don't like this show. And then Paul Heyman shows up has been on every season since. And I'm like, well, if you don't like the show, why do you continue to be interviewed and tell people what's going on behind the scenes if you don't like the show?
Right.
So,
like something you alluded to there, how you got the post WrestleMania burnout. This is where I maybe truly believe, because I'm a hockey fan, you're a basketball fan, you're a football fan. This is where I truly believe after Mania there should be an off season.
100%.
Be it a few weeks, maybe a month, but there needs to be some kind of off season to reset for not just the wrestlers, but for all of us. We just went through, what's it, January till April now. So that's 4 months of an absolute roller coaster ride with you. You're not going to get much out of us between whatever day you host Mania and whatever PLE is next.
Yeah. SummerSlam, I guess, would be the big thing, the big one.
Right. You're not going to get much out of us because we're so drained.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like an off season would do good.
I would not be mad at that. I think May is like the perfect month for that because it's the start of the summer, at the end of the month. So if you were to take a 3-week hiatus at the end of WrestleMania, obviously do your Raw after Mania, as like, and then that's your catalyst for the new season, and then leave everybody on a cliffhanger for 3 weeks, like every other TV show does in America or Canada or Netflix or Hulu. The new season 8 episode, 10 ends on a cliffhanger for season 9 episode 1 to pick up on. Like that, you could use the Raw after WrestleMania as that, hey, we just ended all these stories. Here's what we're gonna probably be doing when we come back for the new season. We'll see you in 3 weeks. Like I'm on board with that, especially since I'm now an adult with real life problems instead of 15-year-old kid having nothing to do,
Dude, you could also have that Raw after Mania have no clean finishes where everything is left in suspense.
Yeah.
Don't answer questions. Don't have promos that are connected to what just happened. Have promos that do something else that can be, what's going to happen when we come back? Right now, WWE is on television Monday, Tuesdays, Friday. And then you still have the LFG. I don't know what else.
Evolve on Wednesday. So technically, like if you really want to look at this, like Monday, Netflix, Tuesday, CW, Wednesday, they're on Tubi, Friday, they're on USA. And then if you have a PLE on a Saturday or a Sunday, you technically could be watching WWE every night of the week if you really were a sick individual. If you were.
Right. And then you go back 20 years, 30 years if you want. We weren't anywhere near what this is. We didn't have anywhere. Obviously, the internet was a different time too. But like 20 years ago, the internet was a thing. Even 30 years ago, the internet was just a baby.
Yeah, it was a
Like
baby 30 years ago.
the internet was a thing. There was dirt sheets on the internet. There was dirt sheets before the internet too, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, Wrestling Observer newsletter has been around for the entire since the late 80s. So,
but like there's so much wrestling at our disposal. We don't need as much as they're putting on. And then TKO is doing whatever. You just lost a generational tag team because you asked them to take a deal. They've worked way hard in their career to take a deal, man. I'm sorry.
The TKO shit is just business. Like, you know how a lot of people are like, oh, WWE's the machine and the corporation. Yes, they are. But TKO is a whole new, they're a new machine. The old WWE machine was the computer, was Google. TKO is like AI, is the AI takeover of what we're seeing in our day-to-day lives. Like TKO is like the comparison. Like they're on a new level of, we don't give a fuck what you did for us the last 15 years. Take this pay cut or see you later. That's crazy. Still blows my mind.
And then you're signing, nothing wrong with this man. I'm a big fan of his, or not a big fan, but I'm a fan of his, I should say. Baron Corbin shows up on a random episode of SmackDown. We're going to sign him. Okay. No problem with that. Cool. Again, where was that money for Xavier and Kofi? Right? Now you have rumored Enzo, confirmed Cass. They're not going to be nothing but a nostalgia act that's going to burn out in a month or two. Because, and I love them, and I love what they did back in the late 2010s.
10 years. But yeah.
We're nowhere near there now. It's a nostalgia act pull at best.
It doesn't make sense. It genuinely doesn't make sense. Now, mind you, Enzo did very dirty because of the accusations that came out and that were never true. And he was found innocent without a doubt. You can look that up. That is public record. So he got really sliced up pretty bad. Because I think Enzo was if Enzo's career doesn't get interrupted in WWE in 2016, does he survive till 2020? Maybe not, but I think he at least has a little bit longer of a time there. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's still a WWE guy to this day if he doesn't getting involved in some nonsense. So I'm happy for him that he gets a second chance, but I feel like Enzo was doing pretty good on his own out there. Like he was the champ for Fourth Rope. Like he's still making music. Like he's wrestling for, like he's doing good. I thought Big Cass. I can understand Big Cass. I mean, Big Cass not really doing too great right now. The AEW thing, he got fucked because Ricky Saints didn't want to be a part of AEW anymore. Ricky was like, all right, I want to be WWE guy. And poor Big Cass got stuck with him and had to deal with that. And then got stuck with Jericho.
If I'm WWE, I'm going to do the funniest thing. I'm going to tag Ricky Saints with Big Cass.
That's also true. Right now, Ricky Saints is in WWE and Big Cass is coming back to WWE. So, all right, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, WWE feels very in the sense of a sports team that doesn't want to win. They're not in a contention for the chip this year for the Stanley Cup, but they're just signing guys to veteran.
They're the Toronto Maple Leafs.
They're the Toronto Maple. Listen, they're the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're just signing veterans at minimum contracts, at vet minimum contracts for a year or two, and letting them sail off, and that's it. And they're saving money. The books probably look insane in the TKO offices because they're washing the UFC losses with the WWE profits, and the fact that they just cleared technically almost 11 contracts of the Wyatt Six, which stings for us, but also Sheamus, Kofi, and Woods. So 3 huge
Killer
names.
Cross is on there too.
Killer Cross is a part of that list. Not to include the superstars that are rumored to have taken pay cuts, like The Miz and Sami Zayn.
Speaking of Remy, aka Sami Zayn, they did my boy dirty.
Dirty.
I understand the booking sense. I get it. But you did. I'm a Punk fan. I am. But really, we make Sami Zayn pin Cody so that way you could set up SummerSlam of Cody versus Punk. But you use Sami Zayn, who's been a workhorse for the better part of 5 years. He did amazing work with the Bloodline. And before that, his conspiracy theory gimmick was great. He broke Brock Lesnar in the ring. And you give him a 9-day championship run.
Yep. Thanks for taking the pay cut. Here's your 9-day championship.
I would have said, I would have put over, if that was the case, take somebody else. That would have been a shock and awe moment for that moment. And let them. You just, in a sense, and I don't like using it, you buried Sammy in a way.
In a way. The kicker was,
I'm still trying to see how they play it out.
They had 3 different ways they could have fixed their creative booking mishaps. And last week's episode of 4 Sides of the Ring, cheap plug for the boys, we got into a heated argument about the CM Punk title win and the fact that the King of the Ring tournament meant
nothing.
Diddly fucking squat. Absolutely nothing. It went nowhere.
Well, they just threw it in your face on Monday night with Oba saying, if I would have entered, you would have had him screw me anyway.
I didn't even watch this past Monday. That just goes to show you. I didn't miss much.
But, like, you openly slap our faces. What we're telling you.
Yeah. It's sad. And it was like the anniversary of the Stone Cold Steve Austin King of the Ring 2 that same week of the King of the Ring finals. And like, they didn't even do, they'll never, the King of the Ring tournament, that concept, I know they brought it back recently, but I think they need to kind of send that back, put that back on the back burner. It's not working for them in the modern times because they don't care to use it how they told us they were going to use it, where when it came back, it was the winner gets a championship match at SummerSlam. Well, Obafemi just said, Brock Lesnar's my real championship. All right, so that's it. Brock Lesnar is more important than the WWE championship is what they've told you. You're a casual fan.
All respect to the Samoan culture when I say this. We've seen an Ula Fala be worth more than a WWE championship.
Ain't that the truth? That's another huge.
That's another huge. The Samoans. It's like, I don't watch the product. I love the fact I can rant with you about this right now.
Here's the crazy part. The Samoan family lineage is dated back to, dare I say, almost the creation of professional wrestling, which is insane to say. People can fact check this. Samoans have been involved in wrestling with the McMahon family for almost about 50 years.
Yeah.
That is a legitimate fact.
Watch so a little talk. A lot of it about it too.
Yeah. And that's exactly. That's a super dramatized retelling of the story, but that's spot on. You know, they paved the way for their family, all of the family, through blood, sweat, and tears in this industry, even the mothers and grandmothers of the family. So I will say I understand why, but at the same time, yeah, man, one of my biggest complaints, and the boys will see this and they'll be mad at me, but one of my biggest complaints is that they've literally just pressed rewind on the bloodline, but instead of the bloodline being with Sami Zayn and what we saw the first time, it's now with Jacob Fatu. They've just reworked, instead of Roman beefing with Jey Uso, it's Jacob Fatu for that start. And then what happened? Jacob fell in line with the bloodline, just like Jey fell in line with the bloodline. So they did the same thing. The only one who I would say kind of is making his own headway is Solo. I like Solo more than I like Jacob, love Jacob, but I like Solo realistically more because he's entertaining. He's funny, man. He's funny.
With your point about the rewind, let's go back for a second. 2020, end of 2020, beginning of 21. That's when the bloodline started to take form, right?
Yeah.
Who owned the company at that point?
WWE.
The McMahons.
McMahon's.
Okay. Now I'm TKO. Oh, I'm smart. I got money. You look back 5 years. Oh, this made a buck fuck of money. Let's try it again. You're not going to be able to repeat that success. It's organic in that moment. It's not organic now.
Nope. It's like when they tried to recreate the NWO in WWE. Huh? Why? Why did we need that? We didn't.
I think it would have worked, but you needed to have them take over SmackDown and have Bischoff leading that way.
Yeah, they needed to. It was a half-ass. It was like we didn't want to. They didn't want to commit to the bit because then it would have been a copy paste of the OG, but they didn't commit enough to where it felt anything of the OG. So
right, came a comedy act.
Came a comedy act, exactly.
I mean,
honestly, at the end of the NWO WCW, that they turned it themselves into a comedy act, but I think Vince just wanted to be the one to kill it for once and for all. And I think that was a huge thing with him was back in the day of just wanting to kill things because he wanted to be the one to kill it.
Macho Man. So I alluded to this earlier when I said Vince was good booking for John Cena's tour. I truly wish, like you, I really hope that if I could, none of that would exist. What he's being accused of, what he's been charged with, whatever, didn't happen. Because now, myself, I'm a family of 6. I can't. There's a house show coming to London, Ontario, Canada, in August. Finally, a house show for the first time in like a year and a half, 2 years. And that's a whole other thing. I looked at tickets. I'm priced out to take my kids.
Yeah.
What? Like I'm paying raw prices for a fucking house show at a small city. It's not a town. It's a small city. Whereas 4 years ago, I went to 2 shows back to back on a weekend. Same fucking thing. Unfortunately, my dumbass bought tickets to both. But I went to 2, and it wouldn't have cost me anywhere near what this one is going to cost me. Argue what you will about Vince McMahon, but he was family first, friendly entertainment.
He did. There was one thing that Vince McMahon understood, and obviously whatever. The one thing he did understand was how to get a family of 4 to come to a show. How to get a family in the door. You're 100% right in that regard. He was 100% conscious of the working man and the affordability for the working man to come to a show. So, agree. And I'm a hypocrite though, because like I just said earlier, I've been to 5 WrestleManias in a row, and thankfully, I was able to afford those without going into insane debt. But 38 was my first Mania, which was also the last Vince Mania. 39, you can argue, still was Vince, but it was out. He was out the door as soon as that Mania. That was it. Except that I was at that Raw after Mania, and I remember watching the show get written before my very eyes. 5 minutes as we're going to go live on Monday Night Raw, I'm watching production fucking have a meeting outside in the ring. There's like 20,000 people in this arena, whatever it is, and the entire production team is circling the ring having a meeting.
I'll tell you. We're at what? We're at Mania. We're going into 43.
43.
I haven't been to WrestleMania since 2002.
Wow, that's peak though. That's when WrestleMania tickets were like $100.
I wish I still had the stub, but I seen someone recently post it, and it was like $75 for the ticket. I don't know where they sat, but it was cheap. And like I remember, I was 9 rows back from the ring. I got to watch Hogan and Rock Triple H and Jericho, Skydome, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which is the background right here you see. Like, I haven't been to Mania in 20 something years because, well, it's down there and I don't go to the States. And now it's going somewhere where and it has nothing to do with cultural things, I don't think is a good idea for anybody involved. Both sides of the fence, I don't think is a good idea.
I'm iffy on it. I'm iffy on it.
It's not a political stance. It's not a racial stance. I just don't think that it's going to fare the way the Kingdom of Saudi and WWE think it's going to.
It's going to be exactly like the Royal Rumble, where the fans are not going to show up. They're going to think it's a UFC. That's the thing. They think it's more like UFC, right? Where every match before the main event doesn't matter. I've noticed where there's less fans in the building, and I think you're right. And this, like you said, and I'm going to double down on that. It has nothing to do with the cultural, the country, the people, the anything about it. It's purely the fact that those people that are going to those shows, they don't necessarily care. There are fans that do go, but like from what we've seen on TV with our very own eyes, it doesn't look like they don't cheer. They're not, whatever the case is. Perspective I get.
And it's not a quiet show.
No.
Right? Like we both know, we both studied the game long enough. We understand there's certain crowds in Japan, the event is entire quiet.
Exactly.
But that's by design. That has nothing to do with what's happening. But WWE going to Saudi, it's quiet, and that is not by design.
Nope. They have like 5 favorites: Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns. I don't even really think they like Cody. I think Cody gets a decent pop out there. And whatever legend they can stir up for the pop.
Right. It's unfortunate, man. Like,
you got to feel for New Orleans. They got robbed, and they get and Money in the Bank this year is late too. It's a later Money in the Bank. You're talking.
I don't understand that.
It's so weird. It's in a.
I found. I don't mean to cut you off, but another thing I found weird is SmackDown was canceled at the beginning of September or something, or late August. There was just a random episode of SmackDown canceled. And then it was announced today, July 17th, that the show, August 24th in Ottawa, Canada, is a double booking now.
Double taping?
Double taping, excuse me.
Holy shit.
They're hosting Raw, but now they're going to be taping SmackDown there as well.
What is that? Is that Labor Day weekend for the U.S.?
I mean, it could be. I think so. It might be. That seems a little early. The 24th to the Friday, no, that wouldn't be like Labor Day.
No, that is too early.
Labor Day still a few days away from that. That's a whole 2 weeks. Almost.
Yeah, Labor Day's in September. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Wait, so they're doing a double taping on Raw on August 24th.
I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie to you. I am highly debating going because I've never been to a double taping.
Oh, brother.
And the tickets are decently cheap. That's another thing that pisses me off. I can get 2 tickets to take my middle child and myself, and it'll cost me $160. Still a little bit expensive. Now, if I was to take him, but here's the thing, this is where it gets fucked. If I go to London, 2 tickets, it's $310.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to take them to Toronto for SmackDown, which is that Friday before they go to Ottawa, it's going to cost me $245. But I could travel 5.5 hours, go to Ottawa, get a double taping, and it's going to cost me less.
That doesn't.
I'm explaining it because I still got to pay gas, hotel, whatever.
Right.
But wise, it's cheaper because if I go to Toronto, I'm still a couple hours out. I still need to get a room.
Yeah.
$200-$300 on a room. There's still $100 in gas. That's still my food, his food, merch. But I could save $50-$60 on a ticket per ticket.
Right.
Travel 5 hours, go to and even check out Ottawa for the next day, just for a bit. I'd never really been there to actually explore. I could turn it into a whole thing.
It's not bad.
Makes sense though.
For example, right? I went to John Cena's retirement tour when they were out in Phoenix, and I went to that show. And for the first time ever going to a wrestling show in Phoenix, I actually had to sit in the upper deck at that venue. And it cost me $250, I want to say. $250, $300 for 2 tickets to sit in the upper deck of an arena that I've bought tickets to wrestling shows for $75 a pop, $50 a pop. Same arena, obviously John Cena effect, but it just goes to show you what you're saying. Different company, AEW, sit like where we sat for Double or Nothing was $100. The most expensive thing for me was getting a flight to the East Coast. It was just like a no-brainer where it was like, I would much rather spend a little bit extra money for an experience than have to spend to go to the same WWE that I know, and I know what to expect there. So agreed. I would go for the experience. I would take the cheaper ticket to the show. I'll go explore a new little city for a night or two. That's a better deal.
And there's speculation, rumor. And listen, I don't go to WWE now, but my 13-year-old son loves the product right now. He's the only reason I know what's happening. Other than that, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But so I want to take him. But I told him, because I've started to creep back into what's going on in AEW. I know that Edge's career is winding down. Excuse me, Adam Copeland. And now it's for sure winding down. And he has made it very clear to Tony and AEW that he'd like to do it at home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be a Dynamite episode. It's not going to be a Collision episode. This happens. Toronto is set to get an AEW pay-per-view again, which should be Wrestle Dream towards the end of this year. Because he said it very clearly. He's going to be 54 or something, I think he said. And he's alluded to him leaving now. He's on a run with Christian Cage, which he wanted to do before he retired. So he's getting that. There's not much left for him to do. So I'm hoping that Wrestle Dream hits Toronto, because I plan to take my 13-year-old with me. One, because I miss Toronto retirement for Edge and WWE, because I had car issues or whatever. But whatever. But I won't miss his actual finale now, because I know he'll be done after this.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. Oh man, it's crazy. We're getting older. That's when we know all these guys are retiring. Look at the guys that retired just this past year: Cena, Styles. Edge is right around the corner. We're gonna have the Hardy Boys going soon.
I feel like AJ abruptly retired though.
Dude, AJ said, "I'm done." I don't know what's going on with that, man. I have my theories. I genuinely have my theories about it.
I think he didn't like the direction it was going, and instead of saying I quit, hey, let me retire and take my pension and go home. I won't go. Let me quietly go retire, please.
To be honest, I think it had a lot to do with his son, the son that's wrestling right now, who just had his first match a couple weeks ago. I think it has a lot to do with him. I think for some reason, I have this weird feeling that we're gonna see his son in that NXT sphere very sooner than we imagine.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if AJ Styles is in tow with his kid as his manager or something, or his trainer. You know what I mean? Just something.
Well,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Speech, he never said he's yet done. He's still got one left.
Right. He said it's for his kid, right?
Yeah. He said whether it's tagging with him or something. He didn't allude to facing him. But I think if you're gonna carry on the Styles name, and AJ said he's got one left, that's how you do it. You pass the torch in that sense.
Yeah.
You have AJ versus his son, which we should be getting here soon with Ray and Dom. Because how are we having Rey Mysterio duck Gunther and become the AAA manager, but we still have everybody and their mother knows that we're waiting on a story between Dom and Ray to wrap that up. Now you have Aaliyah coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Ray. You were supposed to retire 5 fucking years ago on a Monday Night Raw and didn't.
I love Rey Mysterio, dog. I love that this fool And I say this respectfully, fool. I love that this dude is he's just immortal, bro. His every 3 years, his knees are just working. They're just lubricated. The joints, the meniscus, everything's just put together, and he can hoop. And then it's like, done. I'm hurt. And then he comes back 3 years and he's balling, and then he's hurt. Now he's the AAA GM, man. I think that's great. What's crazy to me is that Dom was the hottest thing in the company. Now he's probably one of the coldest wrestlers next to Braun Breaker. Your Canadian fella, who it pains me to even say his name, Ethan Page, has kind of cooled off a little bit because they keep taking. That's the problem. Shawn Michaels is incredible. It's when they get to the main roster and they get to that TKO machine and that Triple H creative, that's when things start going off the rails.
I don't think it's Triple H as such anymore either, though.
I give him he's the face, you know what I mean? He's the figurehead, so he's taking the blame from all of us. Obviously, we know it's the behind, it's the shadow people, not you, but it's his shadow people that are not as good as this shadow.
I don't know, man. Like you said, though, we're at that age now where our favorites are retiring, and I'm seeing it across other sports too. Like a bunch of hockey players I grew up watching are winding down. Ovechkin's winding down. Crosby's winding down. And I'm like, man, I was in like grade 8 when you started, fuckers. Like,
oh, I mean, I'm same for me, man. It's like every day I see a new athlete's retiring from the NFL, and I'm like, oh, him, not him. So it's tough. It's across the board. It's gonna be weird. I mean, and that's what I was hoping WWE would realize, is that these guys aren't going to be around forever, and really focus on the youth. And they really have. But now I watch NXT, bro, and I'm like, who is that? Who are you? Huh?
right?
So it's tough. It's tough. We're aging out of the WWE, and that's fine. That's why we got AEW. That's why we have indies. That's why we have death matches.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you can, not just, I know you partake in what you can when you can, but like anybody listening, whether you're a fan of Mike's or you're a Shadowsphere head, one of the two, if you can go to a local indie show, go, because the intimate experience you'll feel a part of the show. There's intermissions where you can actually meet some of these people, whether they're in character or not. It's a good time. You feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself. You go to WWE, oh, I'm still here. That's cool. Like, you're not as immersed in maybe back in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, that's that. I would agree to that. Go to your local indies, man. You're gonna get a better experience. I mean, when I went out to New York for Double or Nothing, I met up with Four Sides. We went to one of the Zombie King shows, and it was on a roller hockey rink in the middle of a fucking rainstorm with just a roof over us. I was freezing. My blood's thin. Listen, I'm a desert guy now. I'm a lizard. I'm hot blooded now, baby. As soon as you get the cold in me, that's it. I'm finished.
Brother, back in June, I went to an indie promotion, Canadian Death Match. The whole thing was happening on a dance floor, no ring, bar behind us. These fuckers are going balls to the walls. There's no ring.
It's fucking great, bro. Who needs a ring to wrestle, man? Who needs a ring? We don't need rings. We don't need rings where we're going.
It was hot as fuck, and I compare it to a mosh pit, but holy fuck, it was cool to watch.
Indies are great, man. I love it. We Bear Bronson was at our indie from TNA, so we were like, oh shit, we gotta talk to Bear Bronson, and we're like, yo, great job out there tonight. He's like, thanks, fellas. I was like, dude, you good? Because he was. I was like, you selling or you good, dog? Did you do this for like $500 and you just cracked a rib and you're about to show up on TNA this week and relinquish the tag titles or something?
Listen, the first opportunity I get to, and I'm not gonna. Me and you have conversated. I'm not putting it out here. But the first opportunity I ever get to work on an indie show, I'm gonna make sure someone finds me a hot dog. Okay? I'm gonna meet with the promoter. I'm gonna shake his hand, hold the hot dog. I'm gonna post that pic everywhere.
Please, please, I beg you, I beg you.
That
Oh,
is,
you know,
I have asked indie wrestlers that question, and I've gotten straight answers. I've gotten fuck off. I have got no, not in the direct sense, but I do eat the hot dogs there, kind of thing. Like they're tired of those questions. So if you ever do interview an indie wrestler, don't ask them that.
oh man. See, that's the thing. I'm not an interview guy. I've interviewed a couple. I've interviewed my good brother, wrestler Dyson Bennett over there on the East Coast. I interviewed another wrestler, TJ Brady from the Florida circuit. Two great indie wrestlers. But I don't know, man. I'm not. I don't know if I'm an interview guy. I think I'm just more of a yapper. So I leave the interviews to you. The founder of Four Sides of the Ring, Marcus. Guys like Mike from Boom Broadcasting. I leave it to you guys. Me, you just need me to talk. You just need somebody to just flap their gums. Just call me up. I'm there. You want me to interview a wrestler and ask them what their favorite wrestler is and what their favorite color is? You got a better chance of me just taking them out for dinner at that point. Because if we're asking first date questions on the interview, I might as well take you out for a nice Red Lobster dinner or something.
Like not to toot my own horn in this sense, and I don't know how your good brothers over at Four Sides do it or Mike does it, but myself, I've been complimented by a handful of wrestlers now at this point when it comes to Shadowsphere, because I'm not sitting here saying, who's your favorite wrestler? What's your favorite move set? Who got you involved in wrestling? Who trained you? I'm just having a conversation like I am with you. And that's all we're doing. And I interviewed a wrestler not too long ago, JB Anderson. The conversation, we started talking about wrestling. We talked about collections of like old school video games and stuff. And one way or another, we started talking about like family stuff, and he started talking about some emotional stuff, and I started talking about some emotional stuff, and it became kind of heavy, but we both knew it. But that was the way the flow of the conversation went. And at the end of it, he said, man, I've never done an interview like that, and I loved it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. See, that's what it's all about, For me, it's like I love watching you guys talk with the wrestlers, and I'm a fan of it, and I love that you're doing it in a way that's not like someone else is doing it. I wish, we need like a Nardwar. We need a Nardwar of wrestling interviews. So Shadow, I need you to become Nardwar. If you know who that is, you'll appreciate it. If you guys don't know who that is, look him up. He is the human. I forgot what he's called, man. This dude knows things about musicians that they didn't think anybody knew
Encyclopedia of
about.
music.
Yeah. He is like the Wikipedia, the human Wikipedia man. This dude will pull out lore from people like, is it true that, when you were 15, you were in this group? And he's the one who knew who Slipknot was before Slipknot unmasked themselves. There's a very viral clip of that.
I don't know if you've seen it on TikTok. It might have been the same guy we're talking about here, but he was talking to Corey, and Corey was like, I wasn't even a part of Slipknot to start. But I went to their show, and I was like, I gotta fucking sing for these fucks.
Oh, man, dude. So that's what we're missing, man. Because I'm going to become just an absolute. I feel like Chris Van Vliet's pretty good at that, but he's top dog. We're
So
talking an hour.
I listen to a lot of CBV, and I draw some inspiration from it, and I don't draw inspiration in the sense of my questions. I draw sense in how to go the opposite of what CBV does. I listen to, not disrespect to him, he's a mastermind at it. But like, I listen, I see how he words it, and I feel how maybe because I've been doing this now and I understand where he's coming from, but I know when to let the space breathe for someone to talk, and when the space breathe after something was said heavy or something was said that needs just a moment so you can grasp what the fuck was said and then move in.
Yeah.
And I've had conversations with CVV. I've showed you pictures of me and him standing together.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. I mean, I like what I've picked from him was the content, the video thing, the 30, 60, 90-second clip thing, which I think is a genius thing for content, for especially like trying to get people to watch your content. So I would say that's something I took away from a guy like that. But at the end of the day, you can only take away so much. And then like we said earlier, like then you become a clone. And you don't want to become a clone. You wanna make it your own, baby. That's what it's all about. Finding your own path, like Shadow did, like I did. You just gotta try. It's trial and error. And at the end of the day, just don't overthink it.
I'm gonna shut up my good brother Santi. That man did it the right way, and he's been genuine. He's always down to talk with you. If you ever get a chance to meet Santi, by all means, dude, do it. He's a great person to talk to. He's not gonna brush you off. But then there's other content creators, which I'm not gonna name, where I'm like, why the fuck are you doing this? You're being a gatekeeper. You're being a prick. There's enough room for everybody to be a part of wrestling.
Yeah, it's weird. It's people got very territorial, and then they started saying, "Well, I've like how dare you expect me to give you insider secrets when I had to work my ass off to get to this spot?" Yeah, I
You
mean,
didn't work your ass off. You're a dumbass
I
camera.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you just got in early. You just like it's like the people that invested in Amazon before Amazon was fucking Amazon. Like people are saying, "Oh, I made right plays." No, you didn't. You fucking just got lucky. You
took a
gambled.
work.
You fucking got lucky. So one of your buddies was like, man, this company could be a good thing. You should invest some money in it. And you did. And it paid off dividends. And now you can retire and go to, whatever you want to do. So same principle applies to content creation. The first YouTubers in 2005, man, what
That was
I used to
me.
watch this. Yeah. I mean,
I was creating content in 2005. My channels don't exist because of the content, but I digress.
I was making Lego stop motion videos that
I was doing wrestling on YouTube, and then they pulled all the videos because it was way too excessive.
Oh man, and then I got made fun of for making YouTube videos, and then I was like, oh fuck, all right, I can't make YouTube videos. And man, sometimes I think about if I would have just kept making them videos instead of listening to people what they thought about it, like how far along I would have been on the YouTube game if I would have kept doing it since I was 10, 11 years old,
But the one thing I'll say about our space, and I use the term our space loosely, if you're serious about what you're doing, you're on YouTube. A lot of us have realized to move away from Twitch, but we're still on Twitch. Nobody uses Kick, but if you do, kudos to you. But like,
tell you who's using Kick, and it's not our gender,
right? It's become the only fans of this channel. But like, if we're taking it seriously, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're grinding. All the power to you that you do TikToks, but you're a fucking idiot. TikTok is not sustainable for what you're doing. If you want to take being a wrestling content creator serious, move your shit here, move your shit to Twitch, and grind. Because that's where I'm not going to say it's a forever solution, but if you're serious, that's where you go. TikTok, I see a fucking wrestling creator popping up daily almost. I have finally got my algorithm out of seeing all that, but I still follow a bunch. And every now and then I'll click in a live and there's like 10 new people I've never even heard of saying how fucking Steve Blackman is arguably the best wrestler. You should have been this and that. And I'm like, what the what?
It's like the tweet I used to see. It's like we got to start putting and restrictions on podcast equipment. But no, for real.
I tell people all the time when they ask me, hey, how did you get started? I was like, listen, I'm gonna be right real with you. I'm a dumbass with a camera and a phone and internet access. You want to watch me? Cool.
Hell yeah. That's what I tell. I'm the same way, man. Like, listen, I know that Four Sides has a vision for the platform and they want to take it to the next level and they want to be a top dog. And I absolutely would love to be a part of that. But if it comes down to it and we just stay where we're at and we just have a nice following of people that enjoy our content and it doesn't become a thing where we feel like it's a second job, that's when you start to, you get you start beating yourself up, because then it's like, wow, I'm putting all this time and energy into it and I'm not making money, or I'm not moving anywhere, I'm not getting the views. Like, that's when you start tripping yourself out. Like, if you just, like I said, like, just pick a platform. Like you said, pick a platform, YouTube, whatever. Like, I would say TikTok is good to an extent, because
it's good for clips.
People don't have attention spans, big dog. People don't have attention spans. Like, let's be real here. We know there'll be a percentage of people that are watching this that will rewatch this and have to skim through it because they can't watch an hour video straight.
That's the difference between me and you. We're doing it the way it's meant to be done. We're not.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Yeah. Man, I'm not even close to done talking, but if you need to wrap it up, I appreciate that.
I'm hanging. We chat up, brother.
I'm enjoying. I don't get to talk wrestling shop anymore because either I'm talking with a 13-year-old who's, I'm not trying to ruin what wrestling is. It's very hard at times because I'm like, for instance, Monday night, I sat and watched, I think, the gauntlet they had on Raw.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was sitting there watching with him because he's right into it. And he was like, I don't remember who he wanted to win. And I was like, WWE would be stupid not to let Gable win it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he's like, but that doesn't make sense. I was like, $20, it's Gable that wins. Who won? Gable.
Chad Gable.
Like, how did you know? I was like, because without ruining it for you, I understand what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that he is so oblivious to all of it because I get to watch it through his eyes.
Yeah.
And not Shadow's eyes. I get to watch it from a childlike mind again. He clues into certain things and we have conversations about it, but I still don't go overboard with killing it. Like, he has met indie wrestlers and they're absolute pricks on the show, but they're the nicest fucking people he's met.
He's starting to understand that.
He's starting to click, oh, this is just a show. But I need him to find that out on his own. It's like ruining Santa Claus for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, it's like finding out Santa's not real.
But like the coolest moment for me in what I do with Shadowsphere, there was 2 incidents that happened in the last 6 months. One, this lady named Jane. She works or helps out with Canadian Deathmatch. Never met her in my life until June. She was the door attendant that day, and I was just walking around because I need to breathe because crowds kill me, man. I need to move around at times. And she walked up to me and she goes, Shadow, right? And I was like, yep. She goes, I love what you're doing with your interviews. I love it. I enjoy listening to every episode that you put out. Dude, that was like the most coolest fucking feeling. Somebody, one person just likes my shit. That means the world to me. It's not even coming from family or friends like you who's like, man, you're doing great. I call bullshit all day on that. You could just be saying that to pump my tires. But it's coming up to me and saying that. Such a cool moment. Back in April, went to Deathmatch again because that's my thing now. I had a guy come up to me, man, I love the podcast. Can I get a picture? No, thank you. I said, no, thank you. And he said, why? And I was like, you're here to watch them. I love the fact that you like what I do, but I'm nobody special, man. I appreciate the love for the channel, but I'll politely decline.
That's fair.
And because I don't see myself as anything big. I'm just, like I said, dumbass with a camera. But the moment that really hit hard for me, my partner was there, my 15-year-old was there, my 13-year-old was there with me at Deathmatch. And I'm sure you know this now. Hardcore is the Off the Top Media champion, legit champion. It is on the indie scene now. It's being defended. Me and him were talking, and my kids and my partner were over at the seats, and me and him were chatting on the side. He takes the shirt off his back that he wore in the match, folded up, and handed it to me. My kids were mind blown that I just got that handed to me, and they're like, and that was also the moment my partner realized, oh, maybe this isn't a dumbass hobby for him.
I love that.
Like,
That's fucking awesome.
But those are the moments that really resonate with me. It could all end tomorrow, and I'd be satisfied with the way this is gone.
100%. 100%. I feel that too, man. I feel that. I mean, to peel back the curtain, I mean, dude, mouthing off with Mike that's my girl. She came up with this. She came up with this name. She does the graphics, she does the thumbnails, so it was super cool, that we kind of got to do it a little bit together. She was, she came up with the name because when I was like, I think I'm going to start a podcast, everyone keeps telling me I got a great voice for a podcast. And I was like, are you just saying that I just got a voice for radio because I'm fucking ugly? Or, what do you mean? I was hitting him with the
what do
you mean by that? What do you mean I have a voice for radio? Do I not have a voice for a face for television? Is that what you mean?
We all know.
But and I was just doing, I was happy with my little audio thing where I would record on my phone and, upload it to Spotify and be like, oh, look at me. I have a podcast. And then, people were like, you got to do video. You got to be on camera. And then I started doing video and on camera and everybody was like, man, your mannerisms and your body, like your language, like it's just so like, it's so like hypnotizing. Like you're just talking with your hands and this and that, like I am now. And I was like, that's just who I am. Like that's just me turned up 10, like a wrestling character. Like you want reactions? Sure, I'll give it to you, but I'm not going to sit here and be a streamer and react to live stuff and be like, oh my God.
Don't even get me started on that whole fucking thing.
Now listen, I have had my moments on live streams where I have freaked out over some stuff, like but I never phoned it in.
There is a lot of them that are just there to get the TKO camera time, and we're all aware of it.
What's crazy is I've posted a few crazy clips of me reacting to some of the WWE stuff, and I even had last year, WrestleMania 41, I had a video during when it was Randy Orton and a mystery opponent, and I recorded this video of like my reaction while I was there. I was like, oh, this would be a fun video. Me and the missus were sitting there, and this Scottish dude is behind us, and he's like, come on, Joe. It's gotta be Joe. It's gotta be Joe. And me and the missus in the video like look at each other like, oh, he's so right. It's gonna be Joe. And then here, say his name, and he appears. Joe Hendry comes out, and the guy's fucking losing his mind. This Scottish dude is behind me, just fucking going crazy. And I never, got in touch with him or anything. And it got a ton of views, bro, on YouTube Shorts. It was like 50,000 views. And I was a little scared. I was like, 50,000 people have seen this video. That's scary. I get scared when I see over like 100 people watch something. I'm like, it's a lot of people. And then you look at videos that have like millions of views and you're like, oh, that's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. But for me, I'm like, dude, if 1,000 people watch this clip or 100 people watch this stream, I'm like, shit, 100 people watch
I totally get that. There's a few interviews in my Spotlight with Shadow series that have hit over 10K in views.
Right? How crazy.
And I'm like, you watched it me talking? Cool. Thank you.
Right? It's a cool feeling, man. It's fulfilling.
Like that's more humbling, right? That's the humbling part. Is there's a couple people that watch on a consistent basis. And I'm okay with that. It's not going to divert me from doing what I'm doing. As long as I have one view per video, I'm doing something.
As long as one person's watching and is entertained by what I'm doing, I will continue to do it. Simple as that. Whether it's a 1 or a million.
Right? I have made friends with a group of people on TikTok that has nothing to do with wrestling. They have no idea what the wrestling world is about. They remember it as a child, and that's perfectly fine with me. And they're arguably one of my biggest supports because any episodes that I drop on Spotify, they'll turn it on. They'll have it playing in the background while they're on lives. Are they paying attention? Maybe not. But they're having it on and showing me support. and they're making that playthrough, and that's huge. Like that's as simple as it is for people like me and you. We appreciate you even just clicking on whatever we got, even if you don't,
Yeah,
or watch a couple seconds of it, let it play through. That's huge for us.
100%. Like it. That's it. If I could share it, I'd share a lot of people's stuff. You guys, I share your stuff. I share off the top. I share four sides, main event.
And I don't know what Scal's be doing with that. He's a mad. I haven't used Twitter because I think talking to you recently is the most I've used Twitter in a while. I've kind of pulled away from it because it's such a cesspool, bro.
Oh my god, it's tough. See, the tough part for me is like that's how I have the most followers on Twitter, and like I've always been a Twitter guy. I love Twitter when I just had my own Twitter. I love Twitter because I can just rattle off random thoughts in my head. Sometimes I'll be tweeting and I'm like, I'll come back the next day and I'm like, what the fuck was I talking about? And I'll have like a laundry list of comments of people like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. What the fuck was I talking about? I don't even remember.
That's like Scowls, man. Like he'll go hard at people, and I'm like, relax, bro. We're a brand. Use your own personal shit if you're gonna go.
I don't go after anybody. The only time I go after people is when they say something like really fucked up. Like if you can't, there's levels to this shit. Like, yeah, you don't like the way a wrestler wrestles, fine. Hey, I don't like how X wrestler wrestles. Cool. But you can't say, I hope X wrestler perishes in a fiery plane crash. We've got a problem. We've got a problem.
Absolutely not. You can't do that.
Settle down. I need you to do me a favor. Close the screen. It can't hurt you.
But then you have the opposite of that, and you have people who, I would suck Jey Uso's dick in the back of a parking lot for $5 right now. Why are we talking like this on fucking the internet, man? Like so there's no in between. There is no in between.
Oh my god, that reminds me of the guy who bought the lipstick card from Rhea on the Fanatics Live a few years ago for like $3,000. It was just her like kissing the paper, and he fucking bought that shit.
Oh, dude, I used to be you've seen my collection. I used to be into heavy auction. During the pandemic era, that's when a lot of my collection was done. So it was a lot of online auctions, and this company would sell kiss photos, like the girls would kiss and then sign.
Yeah. And
I have a picture from Lana, aka CJ Perry. It's not a kiss photo, but it's from that same era of pictures. And she's like, "Do you want me to kiss?" I was like, "Absolutely not. Sign the picture, right? I love you, Shadow. We'll call it a day." I'm pretty sure I do have one kiss photo, but I didn't know it was a kiss photo until I got it, and it's signed by Liv.
That's fun. That's fun though. I figured I got an autograph picture at an NXT show of Blake Monroe, and I'm actually staring at it. I thought she kissed it, but she didn't kiss it. She drew a heart. I don't know why this whole time I thought it was a kiss, and I just feel like that's on brand for Blake Monroe. I feel like she'd be signing shit and kissing it. Oh man!
But there's a lot of weirdos. I know you don't spend a lot of time on Instagram. Holy!
That's the reason I don't spend a lot of time on Instagram, Shadow.
I built an algorithm, and it still pops up every now and then. I'm like, why? Why is that there?
My favorite what the fuck am I reading right now was on Twitter when a few years ago I read a whole fanfic of Cody and Randy Orton. Yeah, on some heated rivalry shit. I was like, oh,
yeah, I gathered that. You had to go there. I knew exactly.
I had to go there. I had to go there because hockey, Canada. I had to throw that in there.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I started that show because I thought, oh, it's a hockey show. Cool. I didn't know anything about it. I think it was like 5 minutes in. There was a dick on my screen and a guy jerking off another guy. And I'm like, you know what? Cool for them, but I am out.
Oh god. No, my
I was
God. I'm crying.
oh,
Um,
I'm all for it for you guys. That's not me, and cool.
oh my God. Oh, good God Almighty. No, yeah. So there's some weird stuff. So speaking of weird stuff, today, so when this episode airs, you said it's gonna be a couple days. So today is the day that WWE launched their Club WWE Shadow.
Oh, yeah, I was talking to Scouts
And
about that, and he's pretty jaded because he would go in and he got fucked out of it.
so I, because I am a stupid idiot, I did it. I am you're talking to a founder of um yeah, exactly. So I did it. I paid the $99, and right now the only videos on this Club WWE for exclusive content is a Minute Maid sponsored video of Dan Housen making lemonade, a 10-minute video of Maxine doing a Pilates routine, a sneak preview for a couple shows, and a promise that more content dropping at the end of this month. Yeah, so that's a con. I
But you
highly
get
recommend. What?
I said you get a cool lanyard and a pin
Yeah, you get a handwritten letter from John Cena. Hopefully he kisses it. I hope he kisses the letter.
and a ring mat. I heard.
It's. I hope, back to the. I hope John Cena plants a nice smooch on that letter so I can forever frame it here on my wall. Oh man, what a weird time in wrestling. Now, yeah, I mean WWE. It's gonna be it's here. I'll make an in-depth video about that Club WWE stuff at the end of the month once we see what it really is. Yeah, I might as well try to make a video off the $99 I spent. Maybe get a little money back. Maybe do a charge back to the credit card. We'll see.
Honestly, and I said this to Scouts today about it. I think it's a shot at all of us.
Oh, 100% it is. 100% is.
They don't want us doing it anymore, so now they're gonna do it and charge us to watch it.
Yeah, 100%. Because there's literally like chat boards coming and like live streams. So they're gonna try. Here's what I think is gonna happen. I think you're gonna start seeing the bigger content creators that are affiliated with WWE start putting their platform. It's gonna move to WWE, Club WWE.
Yeah, that's why they're striking everybody so they could take it and move it there.
Yep. Yeah, buddy. We know. See, this is why you come to the Shadowsphere. This is why you watch the show. Shadow tells you the real shit here. 100%. It is what it is, and what it seems to be. The perception for this is the reality of it, and they don't want independent. They don't want this. They don't want content creators. They don't want us clipping their content. They don't want us making videos. They don't want us criticizing the product. They strike your content down. I know one of my mutuals on Instagram, Media Mania, every day he like messages me and is like, dude, they copyrighted your stuff. They copyrighted 6 of my videos today. And I'm like,
he's hit me up too, and I'll talk about that off camera.
That's it. WWE sent in the goon squad for us.
No, that's not a good thing, man. Fire trucks don't typically siren off going around town this time.
So that's never good.
Up out of town there. Like I was telling you earlier, there was a fire just up the road. I thought they had it under control. I'm hoping they still do, because right now we're in literal hell in Ontario. So
yeah, you guys gotta make sure you guys keep a close eye on everything, man. This is for those not aware, there's some crazy stuff going on in Canada right now.
Yeah, the last 3 days of the first day I woke up 3 days ago, and I looked out my window and it was pure orange, and I'm like, what is happening? Is it dusk? Like, am I up too early? Nope, it's 10 a.m.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is happening? I go outside, heavy. Yesterday, complete smoke throughout the area. And I'm outside the last couple days with my hose, watering every bit of my house down, watering everything I can to get it wet, just so that way it's wet. Like wet like my first ex-girlfriend, like.
He's sick, fuck. He's sick, fuck. Oh, God.
That's the Shadowsphere. We're unfiltered. We're uncontent.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's how it should be.
I want to touch base on something you brought up. I'm happy WWE released the YF6.
Are you?
Not happy that they lost their jobs.
Right.
because I don't feel Wyndham's vision was properly, and it has nothing to do with Taylor, has nothing to do with Eric, has nothing to do with Nikki, nothing to do with Joe, and nothing to do with Dexter. That is completely WWE. Not a lot. They picked up so much hype and dropped them so fast.
Yeah. And what hurt was they didn't understand. Once again, they tried to they knew how much, and this is fucked up, but they knew how much
They
money.
cashed in.
Yeah, they knew how much Bray Wyatt was gonna make them in his death. In a the legacy lives on through his brother and these 5 individuals. So let's milk this for everything we can, and then as soon as we can't market it anymore or we can't make money off of it, well, we don't need them anymore, and they're released. So I think Joe Gacy's gonna rebound nicely. He's already taken
He's doing
bookings.
a few weeks,
Yeah,
which I
you
might
know,
go, but we'll see.
he's someone obviously we know Nikki just bought Progress. That's a huge
Yeah.
thing. That's a
Her and
huge
Dayton.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dexter, I'm sure Dexter will show up somewhere. As
Uh,
for
TNA? Indy
I don't know,
Hartwell's in
maybe
TNA, right? I think he goes back.
maybe he has good history in TNA. He had a really good run in TNA a few times.
I think
The
Eric's on.
one What'd you say? Sorry, you cut out.
I think Eric is on the wind down of his career now. I think he'll probably start teaching like seminars and stuff, and like, and then there's Taylor, which I'm not sure which direction that'll go.
I don't think so. I genuinely think he doesn't. I don't think he pops up anywhere.
I think he's done wrestling. Not to shit on him because he is a third generation wrestler, but he, like Bray, not the strongest in the ring.
Mm-mm. No.
And I mean that with all due respect to Taylor Rotunda. Like, he's not what he needs to be for at the level that they need him to be.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Bray. I never enjoyed Bray wrestling. I fucking hated it. But his storytelling is what made me fall in love with Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm. It was a different vibe. I don't want to sound cliche, but it was just it was different. And he was man, he was so good. He just had a way with words, and
Yep.
yeah, I'll admit to that. Like, Bray wasn't a great wrestler. And I feel the same thing for a guy like Karrion Kross, where I love Karrion Kross, the character as Karrion Kross, but when the bell rings, I'm kind of like, you needed to change. Like, he needed to realize that he's not gonna, don't be going out there and trying to like wrestle. Like, I just need you to be a meat house. Like, I just need you to be a shipwreck house in the ring and clothesline guys and powerbomb guys. That's it. That's all you need to be. Keep talking, doing your spooky gimmick, and just beat up on guys. So
yeah.
And he's a guy who I thought had way more potential in WWE than I would say in like the independent scene, because the production value for Karrion Kross for WWE was incredible. Obviously, we know the wrestling shortcomings, but like, it's just such a weird thing for me with him is like, he was starting to really hit the fans. The fans were really buying into him. They were liking this kind of revolt character he had going on, this anarchy that he was bringing. And then, budget cuts. The machine at work, ladies and gentlemen. The machine at work.
Like, you're a multi-billion-dollar business. Budget cuts shouldn't be a thing when wrestlers make, on average, less than $1 million per year on their contracts.
Some do, some don't. I mean, look at a guy like Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns probably pulling like what, 5-6 million easily.
I don't know. I've never actually seen his contract anywhere because you can't find it.
Yeah. These guys got kickers, they got perks, they got merch money cuts, the top dogs in the company, they obviously.
I think if WWE really wanted to pull back the curtain, me and you, big sports fans, right? We can go on, I don't think Cap Friendly is a thing anymore, but we go on a site that shows you salary caps. Mm-hmm. And we know how much a player is making per year per their contract. Why does WWE hide that?
It's very interesting thing that you bring up, because the way WWE's been moving and how they've been cutting and re-signing certain people and having people take contract cuts, they're moving like a sports team. And we
Yeah.
don't know those contracts.
Why?
Yeah, you're 100% right. I know how much Aaron Judge is making for the Yankees. I know he's on a deal right now, for like $600 million over the next 9 years, plus incentives. We know Otani's making $1 billion with
At the back end of his
incentives,
deal.
and it's a deferred fucking deal for 10 years. So when Otani moves back out of LA to wherever he decides to move, if he goes back to Japan or wherever he goes, he doesn't
He's
pay.
smart to move back to Japan because that money is going to be life-changing for his whole ability.
Exactly. He doesn't have to pay a single cent of tax when he retires. Yeah, dude.
Like,
That's not good.
It's like the third siren I've heard go by.
I think that might be our siren to
wrap it up. Oh, I mean, I'm not getting any alerts that I need to evacuate. So.
All right, that's good news.
If you need to go, by all means, we can wrap this up, man. I'm enjoying the conversation. I don't get to, like I said, I don't get to talk with smart-headed people about wrestling.
smart Mark, or Smark as the wrestlers will call us. No,
I said that to a wrestler once. I'm like, I'm just a mark. And, yeah, I almost got hit for that comment.
I believe it. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, it was crazy.
You know what I was talking about? I was talking with the missus the other night, and I was like, I want to learn how to speak Carney, because a lot of wrestlers, like Cody especially, I was watching an interview with Cody. Cody speaks Carney from the old school of wrestling, and some of the other wrestlers all speak Carney, and I think that's a fascinating thing in the wrestling industry, because as we all know, it's just a bunch of Carney shit, right? So I was like, I would love to learn how to speak Carney, and like just to kind of understand, like, when they're talking to each other in the ring and they're speaking this weird shorthand language, just to see how that works, Yeah,
and I mean, I've been made. I don't want to pull back the curtain too much, because a lot of the guys I do talk to are still very, very, very deep into kayfabe.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, me too. Like, they refuse to ride with people that I know they're probably riding with, or they meet up down wherever. I don't know. Not my business. I've been fortunate enough just to talk with them. But like, even there, they'll say that, it's not easy to do now with the kayfabe.
Mm-mm.
Even on the indies, like, there's still words and mouths that are going around, right? Like,
I can only imagine. Like, I wish I could have watched wrestling in the time of like my dad, where like, so here's a cool little thing, and I'm sure you have a story like this too from growing up. But my dad, he would go to Madison Square Garden when Vince Sr. was running the show, so he was going to WWF. And
wow.
He was going, and they would go, and they would buy the tickets on like a Tuesday. And they're getting tickets for like $5, right? $5 tickets, $2 tickets. This shit is so cheap, right? It's ridiculous. And they're watching the wrestling, and they don't know, what's happening, with the company over in Georgia, the territories, right? Which I always found fascinating. Obviously, you have network syndicated television at this time, but you're only watching local, right? So WWF was the local New York wrestling promotion. Yeah. So I found it fascinating when I would learn, like, and he would tell me stories about seeing guys like Chief J Strongbow, right? And George the Animal Steel and Bruno Sammartino, and like the golden years, right? Of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and how, you would see a wrestler in the street, and a wrestler, right? Kayfabe, like, it was on. Like, you saw Chief J Strongbow in the street. Chief J Strongbow is keeping the character up. Like, you saw George the Animal Steel in the street. He's still a weird fuck. He's going to be a weirdo. He's going to act like an animal.
Yeah.
So the Undertaker's the biggest example we know of, right? How long?
I'm off with him, though.
It's such a weird thing, bro. I never thought I'd have the Undertaker on a podcast talking to
That's what I
people.
mean. He
like,
never have done that.
Blows my mind. But I understand his reason because he's retired the Undertaker, so he doesn't have to keep
but
the kayfabe alive. The Undertaker's dead. The Undertaker's retired in a sense.
Then Mark Calloway should not be telling Undertaker stories. Mark Calloway should be speaking about stuff that happened on the road and before Undertaker, because you just killed the Undertaker because you're an asshole. Just take your fuck you for that. Like, seriously, fuck.
He said, "Fuck, man." He blew as long as I listen. I can't watch his podcast because of the very reason that you just described. Because I'm like, all right, buddy, roll the eyes back in your head. Where's the fucking gong? Like, come on. Like, I don't want to hear you do an ad read for fucking Black Rifle Coffee Company.
I mean, that Michelle McCool gets the gong. I mean the dong. I mean the gong. My bad.
No, they booted her off the show for a bit there. Fans weren't a fan of Michelle on the podcast.
Dude.
Oh, it's so funny, dude. I mean, that's what's gonna happen, right? We know the Club WWE stuff. They know we all these content creators were making money off podcasts and they're wrestling, so now they're gonna do it themselves. And Fanatics is another one that I'm like, they've kind of stepped in and they've like kind of fucked things up from a merchandising standpoint for all of our favorite sports leagues.
I'm so pissed off with that though. Like, ironically, my new hat is from Fanatics. It's a great hat, by the way. I don't buy much thing off Fanatics hats because I don't get to New Era stores and stuff like you guys do. But I don't like the fact that like there'll be a sale on WWE shop, for instance. But I'd like to shop through Fanatics because like other reasons I can do. And there's no sign of a sale. Or like I'll go on WWE.com. A shirt's $34 or $35. Okay, cool. I'll head over to WWEshop.ca. That shirt's $63.
Yeah.
The conversion's not that fucking bad.
That's insane.
Then my friends like yourself get annoyed if I'm like, hey, if you see this shirt at a show, grab it. you know. Or like, hey, let me know what kind of merch they have, because I'm always looking for autographs.
I promise you, the next show that I am at, I'll hit you up and show you the merch stand. And if you want a shirt, I will get you a shirt. I will get you. I don't think we're gonna have any raccoons, but if they have any sort of woodland creatures that interest you, maybe Mothman, maybe
So because I don't think I've showed you this. You very well know Bray Wyatt, my idol.
Yeah, you have a great. Listen, this guy has a fantastic Bray Wyatt collection. Fantastic.
So those who know me know Bray, my idol. Also know that I'm a huge fan of Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. And everybody knows that, what Ohana means.
Damn.
Just before my birthday, a friend of mine who's a tattoo artist did a tattoo for me. It's Stitch with the word Ohana. Now, I'm going to show you it, and you'll understand why it has the Bray Wyatt draw to it.
I can't wait.
Look at the writing.
Oh, I love it.
It's the Fiend writing, and it's got my 4 kids' birth years.
I love it.
So I got to I got to get it fixed because my dumb ass went like this when it was healing, but that's but like, I got Stitch and Ohana.
I love
and
that.
Like a little kid came up to me the other day and goes, "You like Stitch?" I was like, "Yeah, he's really cool." Like,
it's fucking sick.
But when little kids are like, "Oh, that's cool," they see adults, it doesn't kill the magic for them.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, it's right here, brother. I got you right there. I think I've showed you this one.
Yeah. Well, and then you know that I have color red in a world full of black and white, and I live by that.
It's a good one too. Yeah, he was something special, man. I was there at 2017, man, Elimination Chamber, when he won the WWE Championship. We were there for that one. Yeah, I had that one. I had to have that one. And what's crazy about that show is I feel so bad, and rest in peace to Brody Lee. Luke Harper was wrestling Randy Orton that night, and me and my good brother, we So you remember how WWE and FYE had the collab with New Day for the Bootio cereal when we had the actual cereal?
Yes,
Actual Bootio cereal.
collab. I have that collab, but as action figures. I have the Bootio's 3 series side by
Okay. Oh, very cool. Very cool. So I bought the cereal. I'm a big cereal guy. I love cereal. So I bought the cereal and we were going to Elimination Chamber and I had like the box and I was looking at it and I was like, I hadn't cracked it open because I was waiting for like a special, special pay-per-view or something.
Yeah.
And I looked at my buddy and I was like, yo, let's make edibles out of the Bootio cereal.
Oh no.
And he goes, holy shit, that's fucking genius. So I go to the dispo and I get all the essentials and we make the edibles. Dude, these fucking I'll send you a picture when we're off. These things were like this fucking thick. All right. Like this fucking wide across, this thick, like just bricks, just pure bricks. Me and my buddy both ate one each before we went to the show. And of course, we partook in a couple other smokable items before. And I'm in college at this point, right? So like I'm fucking thriving. And we get to the show, bro. I think yeah, here's my ticket. Yeah, man. Thanks, man. See, food. You want to get some food, man? Yeah, let's go get some food, man. And I felt so bad, bro. I brought a second one in, and we split it like an hour into the show. We ate another half. By the time we got to Luke Harper and Randy Orton, I fell asleep during the show. I fell asleep. I greened out and I was out. My buddy wakes me up. He's like, yo, did you fall asleep? And I was like, yeah, man, I was out, bro. I was out. And I bring this up because when we went to Double or Nothing, our boy with 4 sides of the ring did the same thing I did. And he fucking fell asleep. So my fondest memory, I love that pay-per-view because it was with a great friend of mine who I don't see too often. But it was also just because we got to see Bray win the title, but also just the pure stupidity that was Mike in college. Just
so 2 things to say off that. One, if you go back into my Shadowsphere episodes, I talked to a guy named Will Carroll. He's from the Rochester area, and he tells a little bit about how he knows Brody Lee and the lore of Brody Lee, which is really fucking cool.
hell yeah.
Secondly, this is why I don't drink beer when I go to wrestling shows, because Easton beer makes me tired, and I have dozed off at a couple of events because of drinking beers.
See, I don't drink at the wrestling shows because then I'm going to have to get up to take a piss. And I don't want to get up and down every 5 minutes to go take a piss. So I just don't do the beer. I get like a soda and I babysit it the whole show. Maybe a snack here and there. Depends on what the food situation is at the venue, But yeah, I'm like, I don't like being drunk at wrestling events. You know why? Because I've been to too many wrestling shows where people got too drunk and they were too annoying. You know what I mean? You know exactly.
I've had a handful of them. There was a couple times where people behind me have ruined my experience. And
I was at an AEW show back in January and I was sitting on the floor seats and these 2 guys were fucking sloshed and they kept yelling, "Sky Blue, sit on my face."
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
And I was like, you need to get your asses kicked. You need to
that and laid.
Yeah, something, dude. Like, I mean, obviously they're gonna have to, fork up some cash if they want to be touched. But
apparently,
tough scenes. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm so anti on that shit, man. Like, just keep that shit to yourself. Like,
see, but like, I don't. But like to your point, I don't drink to get like drunk, right? I drink because I'm with friends. But then like afterwards, like at Money in the Bank, there was a group of us that went. And none of us touched any alcohol at the show because we're just there enjoying ourselves. The company itself was electric. But like afterwards, a group of us went to the bar down the road. And we had a couple pictures and then we chilled and everybody caught their trains to where they had to go. Like,
yeah, that's chill. I just don't see spending $18 a beer, getting drunk at a wrestling show. I mean, when there's kids around, it's kind of like getting drunk at a Little League game. You're not going to get drunk at a Little League game And you're not going to
Some
chirp
people
the kids. Well, some people do, yeah. And some people do chirp the kids. I've been there. I played Little League back in my day. I remember.
can I chirp his own?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, my dad would fucking ring me out. Like, come on, Mike, eye on the fucking ball. What are you doing? What are you swinging at? Dope. Sorry, Dad. I can't see the ball. Come on, get it together. All right. Sorry.
Man, we got to do. Maybe we got to come up with a project where me and you just sit down and just ramble on like the old
ramble. Just we'll call it ramble on, baby, and we'll just ramble on for hours and hours. But
we'll call it S&M. We'll call it S&M.
S&M.
The amount of people we'll get in is probably not our audience. But
at that point, we're charging $5 a month. We're going on the white and blue website, and we're showing whole at that point. You know,
not my hole, but you'll see a hole.
You'll get a hole. We make that joke too many times on Four Sides. We're like, you know what? If you guys get us to 1,000 subscribers, so and so will show whole.
Dude.
No, we won't. You need to pay me thousands of dollars to see whole. I'm not.
Speaking of OnlyFans, because I'm not afraid to say the sites. I'm not.
I know it's scary.
Certainly, I know certain episodes I'm not going to get monetized on. I'm 100% okay with that because YouTube fucks me around with that. But that's fine. I love you, YouTube. I was having a conversation. Obviously, you were 15 once. You're a male. I've been 15 once. I'm a male. Well, my 15-year-old male son. I'm going through his bank statements because he makes some money doing some odd jobs. And I just like to make sure things are on the up and ups with his bank. I see 2 subscriptions to OnlyFans. Brother, when I tell you, I laughed so hard. And then I had a conversation with him. I'm like, so you're subscribing to OnlyFans? He goes, yeah, there's like one hot chick. And then I subscribed to my friend's mom. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, man, what the fuck? He's like, yeah.
That's only a sentence that these kids these days can say.
I was like, bro, that would have got me punched out. Like,
I remember, like, making jokes with the boys, like, what one guy always had a mom, that was, she was a looker for her age, and we'd be like,
yeah,
damn, Bo, your mom's a MILF, and come on, man, stop, that's fucked up, that's my mom. No, I'm just fucking around, these kids these days, they gotta say, yeah, man, I'm subscribed to my friend's mom's OF. That's a fucking
that's a but to your point, and I'll pull back the curtain on some mischievous shit I did as a teenager. 19 I was legal in Canada. We were out drinking one night with my buddy and his mom, and well, I ended up waking up in her bed completely naked with her next to me. That was the most awkward conversation with me and my buddy that next day. We're still friends to this day, but any chance I get to say I fucked your mom to him, he doesn't like it.
You gotta love that you can actually say that it actually means what you say it means, instead of just being on like a Call of Duty lobby
for me,
Oh man, that's crazy. Now I always make the joke. I'm like, maybe if I just transitioned the podcast over to OF and I just started unbuttoning a couple extra buttons and showing a little bit more chest hair, maybe you guys will pay a little bit more attention. Attention span's very weak.
To the point of the Call of Duty lobby stuff, Black Ops 1 and 2 just got re-released on PlayStation. And some of the emblems I've seen on that thing are I was like, this is the good old days, but I'm sure the TOS will get them one day.
Oh my God. Nothing will prepare you for the world than being in the Call of Duty lobbies at like 15 years old and getting called curse words and words that you didn't even know existed.
I learned about vocabulary thanks to Call of Duty and Halo.
Listen, kids, stay in school, eat your vitamins, and don't do drugs. That's my advice. Don't do any of those things.
Brought that up. So I was scrolling through TikTok earlier. And I don't follow this person, but she goes by the name Brooke Hogan, so you know who that is. and it's a post about, Oh, share your pictures of your loved ones so I know my dad has company up there.
Oh fuck, bud.
My ass goes right to Google, okay? Grab a picture of Sheiky Baby. Save it to my phone. Go back to said TikTok video. Comment, my uncle has a expression. Fuck the Hulk Hogan. And post it and left.
Oh man, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I think wherever he's at, it's a little dark and hot and
No, it can't be
very.
dark like that. My bad, guys. That joke was... Hulk Hogan was a racist. Deal with it.
Yeah, it's a tough scene, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have to call it what it is. He was in fact. You know, I think the worst part about the whole thing was is like, hey, it wasn't a. I'm sorry for doing it. I've went and I understand the struggles. It was a. I'm sorry I got caught. Don't get caught. Make sure your friend's not secretly recording you in your house. Okay, cool. Thanks, bud. That's what we get. Okay, the sorry, don't get caught. not the sorry I should have not have said that and I'm gonna, take strides to educate myself, like hate to make the comparison, but it's kind of like when Mike Vick was dogfighting. When Mike Vick got popped for the whole dogfighting thing, he served his jail time, he paid his fines, and now he's a spokesperson for the ASPCA on dog violence. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't mean to bring up Bray again, but just I realized what the date is and what the other 2 days ago was. 2 days ago was my daughter's birthday, which is July 15th. And I don't know. I think I seen it on Facebook, I seen it on Insta, and I seen it on Twitter because I was just scrolling through because I'm looking for sports news, not looking at wrestling news. And Bray Wyatt kept popping up. And I'm like, it's not the anniversary of his death just yet. I told you I wasn't lying, bro.
He said the fucking. I'm sorry.
I went through all the comments. Nobody had done it. So I was like, this is my shot.
Oh, shit.
But anyways, July 15th, and Bray Wyatt's popping up. I'm like, it's still a month away, just over a month away from the anniversary of his death for 3 years. And I was like, why is he popping up? And then I realized, July 15th, 2019, The Fiend made his Monday Night Raw debut. July 15th, 2019, is the day my daughter was born.
Wow.
And those who know me are close enough to me, and I told this story recently with another interview. Actually, it was yesterday that I did this one. Bray Wyatt is the reason my daughter's name is Abigail.
Oh.
So, but I never drew the correlation between the Fiend debut and my daughter until 2 days ago.
Holy shit.
So, like, that's another, like, in the words of Bray, full circle moment.
Full circle. That's awesome. That's really fucking cool. That's really cool. Happenstance, you don't even realize it at the time. And then if, it takes water and you're like, wait a minute, start putting these puzzle pieces together. Like, I don't know. I saw a stupid tweet the other day that was like, how old were you when you realized that the SpongeBob movie was just the Odyssey? And I was like, son of a bitch. It is the Odyssey. The SpongeBob movie is the Odyssey.
Okay. Well, I was 30.
And then I'm 29 years old and I just learned that, speaking of
that's crazy.
Speaking of the Odyssey, that movie looks incredible. I can't wait to see it. We're gonna go see it tonight. It was tough to get a showing. So I'll let you know how it is.
All right. Another thing, and when we were talking about TKO earlier in the UFC, how long until we get a PLE in the front of the White House?
Oh, fuck.
For 250.
I don't think WWE get one. The only reason UFC got it was because Dana White is buddy with Trump. So the only reason that happened was because of that. We won't get WWE on the White House lawn.
I think we do because isn't a certain McMahon in his cabinet?
I'm pretty sure. Well, I think she is the head of the Department of Education, Linda. I think she is, but I'll be honest. I don't. I wouldn't say never, but I strongly doubt WWE gets that. Hey, stranger things have happened. We didn't think there would be a UFC fucking match on the White House lawn, and that happened. So here we are. That's a whole that's just a whole weird thing for me. Like I didn't like, and you said earlier like about Batista coming for the Cena tour. As much as I would have loved to have Batista show up, I don't think he would have because of the fact that WWE's involved in this.
The political stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I think, and not to bring that into this, because for me,
No.
when I do content, I try to stay away from that because nobody wants to hear
Same.
about it on their wrestling platform. But I think the only reason we haven't seen Batista go into the Hall of Fame is because of that. Another main reason why we have Mick Foley in AEW now is because of that.
Speaking of that, and I say this wholeheartedly, I love Mick, but he's a bitch for that. They made him and his career who he was, and I get it, political stance aside, you were still cashing checks for the better part of, when did Trump go in their Hall of Fame?
2000. It was a lot. He's been in that Hall of Fame for probably.
And he only left books this year.
Yeah.
It's a hypocritical stance from Foley.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I understand where he's coming from because this is weirder than what people had anticipated. I don't say we because that ain't me. Don't look at me. It wasn't me. I'm saying that to the people watching. But it is a weird thing because like it came up out of nowhere, but I understand where it's coming from. Hey, look, good for Tony Khan. Tony Khan has no problem throwing money towards legends that he watched growing up himself. So good for him, but I agree that it is the timing on that was very
if you were going to do
it
2016 through 20, not now is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to touch it. You have your beliefs. I'm not going to ever shit on you. I'll still shake your hand and I'll still buy you a beer if I see you at a show, Foley. Like, you're still one of the people that I grew up idolizing and watching. So
yeah, exactly. And
it's just,
the only thing
that's how I go with it, right? So
the only time I'll butt heads with you on anything is if you're a Cowboys fan. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, I will make fun of you.
I mean, I'm a Leaf fan, which is literally the Cowboys of the NHL, but fuck, I get bullied enough for that. So
yeah, it's okay. I mean, hey, listen. I'm an Islanders guy, and that doesn't really end up well each year. So
the Islanders don't. It's a fake franchise.
It is a fake, 100%. It's
he just moved to Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and called it the Hammers like a fucking idiot. But anyways.
Man, it's been, listen, man, I have thoroughly enjoyed this tonight. So I appreciate you having me on the Shadowsphere.
I do have a question, and it's a new thing I'm starting, and it's a little nod to Malcolm. I'm not gonna ask you your Waffle House order. That's not my thing. But it's sort of like that. I don't know if you have Tim Hortons where you live. The question typically would be, what would your Tim Hortons order be? But Scal's informed me that I should ask what your go-to Dunkin' order is.
All right. That's a good one. That's right up my alley. My go-to Dunkin' order is a medium hot black coffee, no cream, no sugar, hot black coffee, straight black. And if I'm feeling it on the morning, a chocolate sprinkled donut.
All right. Quickly, before I let you go and I do my outro, plug everything you need to plug. Say what you need to say, my guy.
Listen, man, first and foremost, make sure you subscribe, and show love to Shadow. Make sure you follow him on his social medias. And comment down below, what do you think's going on in the world of WWE? Give us your thoughts. I'm intrigued. You can follow me at MOWM_podcast across social media. I'm also on YouTube, Mouthing Off with Mike Wrestling Podcast. I haven't been posting on my solo channel, as we talked about earlier, but you can find me Thursday nights on Four Sides of the Ring at Four Sides, the word sides, SIDES, OTR on social media. And that's where I am Thursday nights. And sometimes on the Shadowsphere.
Hey, yes, sir. That being said, Mike, super appreciative of your time. You gave me 2 hours of your time. This interview was not really an interview, but it was a chill session. I love that with that. And I'm going to post it right away and people can watch it. Won't be tonight, but it'll be posted in the coming days. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard him. Follow him across the social. Support everything he's doing. He's doing great in the world of content creating. Shoot him a chirp on Twitter. Really ruffle his feathers a little bit. He loves that. And if you really want to get him, he loves nipple pics, so DM them.
I do not. I don't want to sleep in the doghouse. My fiance will kick my ass right to the doghouse.
Only accept male nipple pics. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is Mike. I am Shadow. This has been Shadowsphere. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.